with Jenny and Jenny. This is the Noonas podcast with Jenny and Jenny.
Dual set. Heart to heart. Noonas podcast. Ida. Welcome back to the Noonas podcast, as always, with your hosts Jenny and Ginny.
Hello.
At least with our second attempt at us trying to do our introductory chat, because our first one was really bad this night.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them what happened. Okay.
A little bit behind it. No, I'm kidding.
All I can say is I'll never do an egg yo again. Anybody ask me to do an egg yo, I'm gonna punch you.
Us cute. No, maybe I don't know. My boyfriend would beg to differ, but that's beside the point.
Okay.
It's TMI. Anyway, but we're back with. Wow, this introduction has gone everywhere already, and we've only started the episode. It's going to be an episode tonight, guys. Wow. Yeah, we are back with a whole jam-packed episode. Just got a whole bunch of new releases, kind of the second to last push of new releases coming here, as we're also getting ready with end of the year awards. We also got some new some awards we're going to talk about today on the show. Some big winners are going to talk about between two award shows that came out between our last episode and this one, namely the winners from the Asia Artists Awards, as well as the Melon Music Awards, which Melon is probably the second biggest awards behind Mama in terms of like popularity. I'd have to say, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, seems so. I think to me, the three major award seasons of December for K-pop would probably be the Asia Artist Awards. Then the second would be Melon Music, and then the main one would be the Mmas.
Yeah. Which by the time we're recording this will be literally this weekend. So, and there's already been changes with how that's going to be, in which we might talk about, I think, a little bit in this episode, just because, COVID yet. And then just a little bit of news regarding BTS taking a hiatus. I said hiatus. Keyword hiatus. We'll get into that when we get into that, as well as them figuring out social media ? We'll get into that. But like I said, we got a whole bunch of new music this week. We got a Christmas release from Stray Kids. We have new music this week from fourth generation group Everglow. We have another solo release from EXO member Kai. As well as we got the final release before they enlist from third generation group On and Off, as well as two debuts to talk about this week. The first from the new girl group from Starship Entertainment, the girl group IVE, with their debut single, as well as a new
11.
Yeah, with their single 11, as well as a new K-pop band from JYP.
Band.
K-pop band.
Yeah.
We'll get into them from JYP, called Xdinary Heroes, and their song Happy Death Day, which is their debut single, and we'll get into all that here.
What a way to release to introduce yourselves. Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day. I know that's a way to make a statement, but yeah, like I said, we're all over the board with music. I know we usually say we're all over the board, but this is all over the board. I mean, we have Christmas music, debuts,
comebacks, solo music.
Yeah, we're literally all over the board this week. So, but should we get into the big winners from all the awards? Because this would kind of be fun, because this is kind of like starting to lay a bit of the groundwork to maybe seeing where we're thinking potentially where me and Ginny are thinking where Mmas might fall in terms of award winners. Although sometimes I feel like that tends to usually catch us on our feet in terms of like who actually wins at Mmas, because
who actually wins. Because we still get like that sense, because it's not gonna, like, most of the awards are not gonna be fan voted anymore. So it's gonna be up to the Academy's like judgment and probably like subjective preferences. So
Hmm.
it might be unexpected, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, because for Mmas, we broke down again, like it's all like how the voting's working, and the only fan voted one is the worldwide choice, which not gonna lie,
The top
that's looking
10s.
that top 10, which I'm not gonna lie, who's gonna win worldwide icon is looking a little interesting based upon the votes, based upon the last vote check I did, because we're getting very, very close to the end of the voting period for that, as well as then because that only takes the account what's voted on the website and not what's happening on Twitter, as well as streams happening on Apple Music. And so could still be very up in the air who it is, but it's basically kind of coming down between one of two groups, and it's coming down between BTS and Stray Kids, which is fascinating to me. Like it's now coming down between armies and stays, which in my mind I'm like, I don't care who wins because I'm a fan of both.
Well, I love both of them, but
Mhm.
part of me wants for Stray Kids to surpass
Mhm.
the overlords. And I bet no offense with BTS, because I
No.
know like they've been taking the world by storm, and I
Mhm.
know they've been sweeping up all the grand prizes or the grand awards
Mhm.
like throughout the years.
Yeah.
But, it'd be nice for like someone to for some changes and all that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like so boring if BTS like sweeps all the awards like for this. Like, whatever, not surprising. But
Yeah, because even people were complaining last year after BTS was sweeping all the day songs at Mama again, because it was like
fair.
the third year.
It's not fair.
It was like the third year in a row that they were sweeping, and everyone was just like, "We get it, like they're dominating." It's like, which it's not going to happen this year, you guys, because if it goes to show you, with between the Asia Artist Awards and between Melon Music Awards, there were no sweeps. It was all over the place in terms of winners. So
Diverse.
very diverse. So let's get into it, because the first ones that we had were the Asian Artist Awards, which I believe that happened back on the 5th of happened on the 2nd of December. It's like back on, I can't remember the date. It was on the 2nd of December. And it just was in basically the Asia Artist Awards. It's not just music awards, it's also in entertainment, so in television and movies and stuff too. So it's a pretty big award show. It's pretty, what I find, pretty impartial, I feel like, in terms of like finding winners, because it's kind of all over the board.
Yeah, they had got a whole bunch of like categories for like to give up for different artists. It's like, I think they're like the most benevolent like out of all the music award shows. Like they're like the most generous, because like they'll come up with any like category to give it to, like like the ones who've participated and like set up like a bunch of records for like for K-pop.
Basically,
best blank 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 goes to.
Yeah, so it was like, I guess let's get into. Do you want to get into the day songs, or do you want to get into some of the smaller awards before we get into the day song talking first?
I think we'll just let's just head into the day songs. I think that'll be the main thing. That's
Let's get into it. So let's get into the day songs first. So, probably to nobody's shock, song of the year went to "Butter" by BTS, which again probably is no shock to anybody.
No.
Which kind of figures. Butter was everywhere, not just here in the States and in the Western world, but it was everywhere in Korea too, even though it was in English. It's BTS. It's
BTS, so yeah.
Butter was a good song. What can I say? I like Butter. So
yeah, I enjoyed more than Dynamite.
Yeah, I agree. I think Butter, out of the 3 English songs we have from BTS that are full English, I think Butter is the most superior song out of all 3 of them. So, but then going from there, album of the year, in my mind, surprisingly, Ginny, you haven't been included by Ginny's whistling here, went to NCT. Went to NCT 127's Sticker album.
Which I'm a big fan of them, NCT. Though I think I'm like supporting them with all my heart and all that. But I felt like the album could have gone to like NCT Dream, but I don't know, whatever. It's NCT, so I'm just happy that they got an award.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the other artists in the category, actually, let me see if they even have that artist in the categories. I don't even know they have that in here. Because I was trying to look at Wikipedia because that's my sources here. Because they didn't really have much for
The
nominees
most
here.
reliable
But
site.
most reliable site. They don't have nominees on here, which fantastic. But yeah,
Wow. Oh, really?
no, not released on, and I can't seem to find the nominees they had for the Asia Artist Awards. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if Sticker was necessarily the best album of the year,
But I think a lot of people, I don't know who had like like the higher sales, if it's like NCT Dream back in the summer or Sticker, because
Mhm.
I know both of them got like earned triple, they're like triple million sellers.
Yeah,
So like it could be either or.
it could be either or.
No matter
So
if we don't like what we think about the song, a lot of people really love it.
yeah, I mean, but the albums did fly off the shelves. So as much as the song was loved or hated by fans,
Or divisive.
very very divisive song. Still divisive. I feel like as I'm looking at people talking about that song yet. Then in terms of other day songs that went from the Asia Arts Awards, performance of the year this year went to Stray Kids and their first day song ever as a group, which I mean, I think that's well deserved. They are very much a performance heavy group. Again, if you've watched their performances on Kingdom, they're up
Right.
there, definitely as a performance group. They definitely showcased it. I actually did watch their performance at the Asian Artists Awards, and it's a pretty impressive performance. The medley that they did there, including a new rap with 3 Racha in the middle of it too, and it's fantastic. So, like hands down, I think it's a well-deserved win for them. I know they were super, super excited. I know they immediately went to V Live after the awards to basically on the car ride home to thank Stay because this is their first day song as a group, I believe. So
And plus, it's kind of like a not really redemption, but it's like something to make up for being snubbed heavily last year, or not, not being there at all.
Yeah, I
For
agree.
like the mom, for the Mmas, for Mmas.
Yeah, for Mmas or for like most anything last year, because like I feel like for some reason like both God's Menu and Backdoor both got overlooked quite a bit last year, which I'm surprised because how successful it was. I know those two albums I know made a lot of stays, brought in a lot of stays into the fandom. So, and those were very successful albums. But although No Easy is their first million-seller album, so this was a very, very successful comeback for them this fall for them, and yeah, to see them win for performance of the year is really quite something. And I mean, hopefully it opens some more doors. And yeah, I mean, I think it does establish that they are one of the top 4th gen groups. And again, you guys should really be checking out Stray Kids. I keep saying
like the person. Even like the person I follow, like who got heavily into BTS, like like maybe last year. She's now starting to look at other groups, and then I think Stray Kids is like her next group to explore. So I'm really excited for her to like expand on her K-pop
horizons,
the K-pop universe.
expand her horizons into the K-pop universe. That kind of feels like a good progenitor generation for me, because I mean, like, I know that was me. Like, I started BTS and EXO and stuff, and then I went into obviously like ATEEZ and Stray Kids and NCT and all these like noise groups, and that's like kind of been my bread and butter. So I like the noise genre. What can I say?
Someone complained like noise music is ruining K-pop. Like, shut up.
It's like, y'all don't know what you're talking about. Y'all really don't know what you're talking about.
It's pretty much like the 4th gen like style, like music. I
think so. It's a lot of okay boomer energy, I feel like.
Go back to your ring ding dongs. Sorry, must respect to Shiny. Must respect to Shiny.
No disrespect to Shiny or ring ding dong, because that song now that's like, God damn it, now that's stuck in my head. Thanks, Jenny. Now that's stuck in my head for the rest of the night. Thank you. And then Artist of the Year this year went to 17, which again surprising win for them. I again deserved because both of their albums were both million sellers as well. Both I think 1.5 million sellers. Yeah, both immensely successful comebacks for them. As they are still, one of the top groups of the third generation, with BTS and with NCT. Yeah, they just are still having immense success. So they definitely, I think, are worthy of that Artist of the Year. And then Stage of the Year, Daesung, which is the final Daesung we're going to talk about with the Asia Artist Awards, went to aespa.
It's just like which is like they debuted like last year, and then like it's such a what a huge turnout for them, because like they've been like and it's also like very quick, because it's gonna be like so hard for like new groups to like earn their Daesungs in just a short amount of time. But this is like wildly impressive for them, and they got like a huge like support from a lot of people. So that's why that's what they like, they got them into like like into the top.
Yeah, I mean, they already the fact that they have a Daesung under their belt in a year is wow. I mean, they have them again. I may not be a fan yet. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying with aespa.
Like their songs are like are growing into me now. I'm like dancing like they're savage. Give me that. Dude. I'm memorizing that. Like how can I remember them?
So, but I mean, it's you have to say that is impressive for them. I mean, as a rookie girl group, for them to get a Daesung, that is pretty impressive. So, I mean, no qualms to them, and they do put on some pretty impressive stages. So, but they won a Daesung, so good for them.
That'll be impressive when if they perform in the awards and they get their actual their avatars to like perform it, like how are they doing it?
That would be impressive. Yes.
Wow.
That would be, wow. That would be insane. And then I guess on top of that too, and some of the other awards from the AAA or the Asia Artist Awards, aespa also did get Best New Singer, Best New Artist, as well as in Hyphen, which it's kind of our predictions of what we're gonna see probably in Mama this year. These two groups probably winning for male and female artists, Best New Artist. With their
giveaway,
kind of a dead giveaway. It's kind of they both have immensely been successful. So
if neither of them like win in Mama and like for the Best New Artist, I was like, what the what?
Although I will say it's interesting because currently in the worldwide choice, because they both did qualify in the top 20, and Hyphen's at least in the top 10. aespa's sitting in 20th. aespa's been sitting in like 20th. Like nobody's voting for aespa, so it's kind of been interesting. So, just interesting for that. So, like, they probably won't get a world. Like, right now, I'm sitting here. I don't think aespa's going to get a worldwide top 10. Currently, but they're still pulling out awards. At least for Mama. But, I guess in some of the other awards too. In terms of awards, in the Asian Artist Award, they had a award called like the Focus Award, which is like artists you should be like looking into. Taking a look at
the potential. So I don't know what those mean.
Yeah, well, they have a potential too, because that was
potential winner.
They have potential and Focus, and I think Focus is like a more newer groups like to have just debuted, and potential I think are people who have been out for a little bit. Because Focus went to 3 groups. I went to DKB, went to one of the groups we've talked about quite a bit on the show, Kingdom, which.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm happy because like they're so like overlooked with all like the groups coming out this year. Like Kingdom's like so criminally underrated.
I agree with that too. With all the groups that came out this year, they have definitely been super underrated. So I really as much as I keep giving them a bump because they deserve to get looked at.
I've been giving them a bump. This is like their trailers too, because like they put out like such like cinematic production. Like what the holy shit.
Yeah, and every comeback's been like better and better and better. Like they've been improving. Yeah. So I can't wait till the next album comes out. So, and then the third group was Blitzers, which I've actually heard a few of their stuff, and they're not bad either. Like Blitzers actually got some potential too. So, I think this is good. I don't know if I've heard anything from DKB from any of my music that comes up on my Spotify because I go through a lot of K-pop. But I know, like I said, Kingdom, and I've heard Blitzers, and I do like what I've heard from Blitzers too, and they've had like I think 2 albums come out. So, but yeah, that's from the Focus. Potential from the Asia Artist Awards went to the soloist named Alexa, who I think you guys really should check out. She's quite.
I don't know if we talked about her in here in the show.
I don't think we've talked about her, but she's got some really good solo work. I know she's also on Dive Networks.
Dive Studios.
Dive Studios podcast. She's I think she's some really great solo work. She's just a really fun personality too. Her lives are some of the funniest lives out there. Yeah, she's got some really good stuff. She's like more like definitely like girl power kind of stuff if you're like into that kind of music. Not super like, I don't think like super like girl power, like there's like a bit of an edge to it, but like a punk was like a rock
girl crush or something.
Not really girl crush, like I feel like almost like a rock edge to it a little bit with her music, so that I really like. So I'll have to maybe throw some of her tracks your way and see what you think. And they also put a potential like give award to the group T1419, which we haven't talked about. And that's it's a very interesting group, and I don't know if I've listened to anything like that. I know they just had a comeback came out called Red Light Green Light, and I think they were curbing on Squid Games with that, so I need to go look into that. The New Wave Award went to Stacy and Weekly, which I mean, again, I think we haven't talked about, we talked about Stacy a little bit, and I think Stacy should be talked about because I think they're a really good rookie girl group.
Yeah, because other than aespa, I think Stacy like would have been like a strong like contender of like being the for the first gen girl groups.
Yeah, I mean,
and
ASAP was everywhere. ASAP was everywhere earlier this year, so.
And Weekly too. I think they're like probably behind Stacy, but yeah, Weekly, which there should be like 3 E's that I just noticed. 3 E's.
Yeah. Oh, in your notes. Yeah.
In my notes.
Yeah. I mean, all like they're very strong contenders for like 4th gen girl groups that have come out just this year alone behind aespa. Like they've had really, really strong debuts and really came onto the scene and like are really holding their own with some of the other like more established 4th gen girl groups right now. Like ITZY and Everglow and some of the other girl groups. So like they really kind of came out and cemented and put their feet down, and so they're really making names for themselves. Even like they're even kind of I think holding themselves with like, oh my girl. So yeah, they've really come out. So definitely 2 girl groups if you're like more on the girl group side of things. I don't think they're more like, they might be a little bit more like bubblegum pop. Weekly might be a little more bubblegum popish, I think. But I still like it.
Some style of music too. Like I think like they have like a more like retro type of like pop with them. I really enjoy ASAP from Stacy. That's one of my like my summer jams. Yeah,
ASAP is super catchy. So that's an earworm that'll get stuck in your head. So and then the popularity award went, which I think was sponsored by RET, went to a trot singer called named Young Woon, which there's always a lot of trot awards with some of these award shows too, because trot's again a huge genre,
part of like Korean culture too.
It is such an ingrained part of Korean culture. Like even there's a lot of idols I think who like trot music too.
One of them ATs.
Oh, there's one from Stray Kids, the youngest, the Magne. IN is a huge trot fan, actually.
I thought I heard like someone from AT's, was like singing some trot songs or something.
Might have been Jongho. Jongho likes to sing a lot of ballads and stuff too. So, but I know IN from Stray Kids is a huge trot fan. He's really good because he can actually sing like in like that trot kind of style really well. He's in behind the scenes videos, like he does it a lot, and he's quite fun because he does it like sometimes he does it like jokingly, but sometimes he does it very seriously, and it's really, really good. Like I know he wanted to compete like on like Trot Singer and stuff. Like I'm like, go let him. I think he'd do really well. Some of the other popularity award winners went to EXO, which shows again the power of EXO,
Nice.
even though they're still in the military.
Or
also
yeah, I just like not doing that
not doing much.
together. Yeah, just
Also
doing
went
solo
to,
works or like in military.
yeah. So soon they'll be back all together. And then they also went to
Yeah,
Twice and went to CL. So
you're like EXO and Twice are like like the one of the major third gen groups. So good thing that they're getting still getting recognition.
Definitely. And then the Idol Live Popularity Award from U+, those went to BTS, Blackpink, again to Lim Young-woon, who again is like one of the top singers currently, and then IU. So
IU.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just that those are the more popularity awards. But like in terms of some of like the potential awards and some of the day songs, there's some parity across the board, which was quite interesting to see this year in terms of that. So, and that even carried over into the Melon Awards as well when those were voted on. And for Melon too, all that data comes a lot from the Melon charts, which again, Melon is a huge music chart in Korea as well as streaming service. Basically it's bigger than Spotify because Spotify just got into Korea. So and I know a lot of this also was like voting and stuff too. There's some voting a little bit with the main awards, but a majority of the popular awards had some. And then that's only like the Nelson Popularity Award, the Kakao Hotstar Award. Those majority of those relied on online voting, but the top 10 artists in the main awards, only 20% of the online votes actually qualified. So the rest of it all went to digital, or either it was digital sales, or there's a little bit judges scores. So, but in terms of that, I guess we'll start with the day songs again. For that one, because
day songs, which is probably a huge flip between two artists / group. But
yeah,
I think let's take a guess on who were these.
Yeah. So I mean, again, song of the year, Butter, BTS, which again is probably what's going to happen at Mama. But and then yawn. But artist and album of the year went to Korea's darling herself, IU, with her artist. She won the artist of the year as well as album of the year for her album Lilac, which Lilac came out back in February.
Yeah,
February. It was like
in the springtime.
It was early
spring.
The
springtime. It was like
yeah. It was way back, but I remember when that came out, it was like all killing on the charts, and it was charting super well, and the sales on that were insane. I know she was blown away by how popular that song was doing and stuff. I mean, and how her stuff, but she always kills on the charts. Even as she's points out, she's getting close to her 30s. So it's like she's still very, very immensely popular. And I think she was immensely shocked even too to win these awards this year. I was reading articles about it, and she just going on stage, she's just she had this look of shock on her face. She was not ready. She was very surprised that she won.
Really?
I
thought their reputation would probably have to well, I don't know. You can't I like how she's humble about it, but yeah, you're one of K-pop's most beloved artists right now. So shouldn't be that surprising to you. It's
well, I mean, for artists of the year, I mean, she had her competition was aespa, BTS, Lim Young-woon, and NCT Dream. Again, look at aespa, BTS, NCT Dream. She probably thought one of those three probably going to beat her. Because again,
right,
and I don't think she thought that was going to happen. And then for album of the year, I mean, there's quite a few albums in here. I guess some of the bigger ones like BTS's B was up for album of the year, which came out late last year. Brave Girls Summer Queen, NCT Dream's Hot Sauce, SHINee's Don't Call Me, Joy's Hello was up in there. Oh My Girl's Dear
really?
Oh My Girl. Akmu Next Episode, which I think came out this
I
summer.
love Akmu's. I love Akmu's album.
Highs Happen was in there too. And then as well as Baekhyun Rin, who is a soloist, Tell Us About Yourself. Those are all up for competition against her for Album of the Year. And she beat all of them out for Album of the Year, and which she was shocked. And I mean, I know B sold a lot. And we both know that NCT Dream sold a lot as well as Shiny. So like, I think she just was floored that she won those.
So go ahead. Okay.
So I think she was just completely blown away.
Yeah,
And then-
it was her first time coming back to the to perform and for MMA. Yeah, so like wow.
In like 5 years, I believe. So it was like her kind of like a coming home situation for her for the MMAs this year. So yeah, it was kind of a big deal for her this year. And then for Record of the Year, the day song for that went to aespa, again getting another day song under their belts.
I know, it was like wow.
Which is just crazy that they're getting.
What kind of like we need like what are other examples of like new groups who like got their day songs like quickly? Like yeah, like there's like I don't know, like because aespa's like would be like one of the rare ones to like like start out new and then already getting their day songs like in their first year. Like wow.
I know, that's what I'm trying to think, and I can't think of anything that's like early, like maybe EXO. I think EXO was getting day songs early in their career potentially.
Yeah, because before BTS,
BTS,
like real
BTS didn't get their first day song until Blood, Sweat, and Tears era, till Wings era, and that's like that was 3 years after they debuted. So they were past rookie stage at that point. Because I remember when they got their first day song, they were shook.
Yeah, I saw that. Like,
if you're an ARMY, you know the video of them getting their first day song and the reactions on their faces when that happened.
They're like bug-eyed, like what? Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. It was very much like them getting Artist of the Year at the American Music Awards this year. Very similar reaction. So, and then in terms of the Bonsangs, which are basically like a step lower than did the day songs.
Yeah, they're the main awards.
Mm-hmm.
Like they call them the main awards.
Yeah, they call them the main awards. Basically the top 10 artists for the MMAs this year went to IU, Lim Youngwoon, BTS, Highs, Ilboy, Akmu, Lee Moojin, Ash Island, NCT Dream, and aespa. So kind of all over the board. You got a little bit of K-pop, some trots, a little bit of some soloists on there. It's kind of a bit all over the board.
Yeah, it's really diverse though. Like wow.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool way for you to kind of like go across the board and like find some new music, I think.
Yeah, and also just to let you know, since as an N citizen, this is the first award, or this is the first Melon from an entity subgroup.
Oh, is it?
I don't think they've ever won anything from Melon, but I think this is like their first time they won something.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little fun fact. It's just from your regular
fun facts. So,
yeah,
I guess in terms of some of the other awards for them, Best New Artist of the Year for male, actually for Melon went to Lee Moojin. Best New Artist of the Year female went to aespa, of course. The Hot Trend Award, which is one of the popularity awards in the for Melon, went to Brave Girls. Excuse me. Which again shows still the people are still really loving Brave Girls. After their
rolling, yeah,
that was come back.
Yeah, because that was like a really old song from them, and then they started trending because of TikTok or like from other.
It was a clip
like, platforms.
Yeah, it was of a clip on YouTube, and then it kind of got rolling on TikTok and became a trend, and it just kept rolling, and it basically saved the group because the group was literally about to disband. So it saved their careers. Which is kind of insane.
Save our lives.
It literally saved their careers because like now they just announced like they announced their first concert and their light stick. I just saw them breaking news, like the news today.
Nice.
They announced their light stick and they're gonna have their first concert. So like their
hopefully it
careers
won't
are
be like just like
revitalized.
lightning in a bottle. Yeah, hopefully it won't be like lightning in a bottle from like rolling. Hopefully they still, thrive in their career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I was a big fan of Rochi Mapa, but because I like Roland. Roland's a really, really good song, but
Really fun. Yeah.
it's a fun song. We'll see what's on the future for Brave Girls. But best solo male went to Lim Young Woon. Best solo female went to IU. She I think got 5 awards overall. Like she hauled a bunch home for her. Best performance went to The Boys. Best songwriter went to IU. Best group male went to BTS.
Obviously.
Best group female went to aespa.
Obviously. That's obviously.
Those were a lot of obvious. Best collaboration actually went to BTS and Coldplay for My Universe.
Which
obviously.
Good, yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Obviously, and plus, like I love, also, I really love My Universe.
I know. I'm kind of I love that song too. That's actually a really good song. I really like that song a lot. Netizen's Choice went to BTS again, obviously.
Yeah, the obviously awards.
The obvious awards here. Global Rising Star went to ENHYPEN.
Kind of an obvious, but yeah. Well, I mean,
it shows how
expected.
They're immensely popular overseas. Like, I mean, again, them. I think them being on island. I mean, I think helped a lot.
Being like under Hive, really like push them into into stardom, or like it really helped.
It did, but I mean, I think they deserve to be there because they are all immensely talented. So I mean, for them, every comeback has been an improvement. So, for When the K original contents, went to Stacey, and then best performance director went to Son Sung-duk, who is with Hybe.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I was wondering, like, okay, like,
yeah, he's like the main choreographer, like with BTS, and I think he does a bunch of TXT stuff as well. I'm not sure if he's done anything with ENHYPEN. He might have worked with ENHYPEN. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he does a lot of BTS's stuff, and I think he does quite a bit with TXT. So,
okay,
but he's like their main choreographer over at least at Big Hits. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the start of the award season in terms of what we're going to see here. And yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen at Mama's come this weekend, this Saturday, in terms of who's going to win. Like I said, I've been watching this whole like worldwide top 10 competition between BTS and Stray Kids as I'm thriving trying to get ATs at least into the top 10 right now, because I'm like they're sitting there in 12th place yet. Like, come on, you guys, get them higher.
Yeah, come on, ATD, come on, like put the pedal to the metal.
I know, come on, we have a comeback coming. I know the reel's coming on Friday, but like, come on, let's get them back on track here. But yeah, we have Mama coming this weekend, which again will be like insane with performances. We actually had a performer unfortunately have to pull out of Mama because of COVID. It was announced actually a couple days ago that Kepler actually had to pull out and actually is debuting or is delaying their debut officially as a group because they were supposed to debut next week, and we were going to review them next week with our show. Our final show before our top 10 of the year. But however, unfortunately, because one of their staff tested positive for COVID, they have to push back their debut because they are just taking the precaution and just making sure everyone is safe, and canceled their whole entire schedule just to be on the safe side. So they are just
it's a bit of a shame, but it's like we're still dealing with the pandemic. So
I mean, heck, they canceled. They're supposed to film as we're recording this on Tuesday the 7th. They had to delay recording the pre-stages today because of COVID potentially. So yeah, there's still that risk, and there still hasn't been confirmed nor denied if they're still going to have an offline part of the show, they're going to have an audience or not, like socially distant audience or not. So that is to be determined apparently. So we'll find out. But and also to note too with Mama's, it's also the first time in BTS's history that they will not be there to do a performance.
Pretty much a lot of like
a lot of groups. The third gen groups will not be there. Well, but BTS
except
specifically,
for,
yeah, but well, except for NCT, but BTS will not be there because of the new quarantine rules. Because again, they were just here in the States. Heck, actually, they're not all of them are back in Korea yet. But because
and they're just like trying to rest and restore from their like 4-day concert in LA too,
as well as Jingle Ball. But and actually, this isn't leading to my next story. Because it was announced, they put out a statement with Hybe, between Hybe and Big Hit, saying that BTS is taking another little bit prolonged hiatus, taking a break, and saying that for like the rest of this year, that they're basically kind of taking like time away. They're taking like vacation time. Gonna go spend time, with their families and go on vacation, spend time with their families for the holidays, go do whatever they did. Their first time since 2019, just go rest, recharge before they start their next chapter, end quote.
Their next next chapter, and also like their, military enlistment, is coming very soon. So it's just around the corner. Yeah.
Also, they said in the statement like something about a new album. So apparently there is a new album on the horizon. As well as, they also announced too at the end of day 4 in LA that we will see you in Seoul in March 2022. So there is a concert happening in Seoul, March 2022. Specific date hasn't been announced yet, but it is happening in March. So early spring. So that is coming, that they will finally be performing in their home country finally after all this time because of COVID. So, and because of that, I was gonna say because of that, that's why they're not going to be at Mama or any of like the Gaios or any of the end of the year projects or anything like that this year, because they're on vacation basically. So
and they've been working so hard. It's like the concerts and like, like just collaborating with a lot of like, people and, in the US. It's just, it's been quite a year for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also kind of scared too, because, how like, during their first hiatus break and then they came back and we got Jungkook with full tattoos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of like, putting my guard up, like in case when they come back and like one of them, probably Jungkook, like getting like another sleeve, like, hey, I'm back with another sleeve, guys. What the hell?
This man already pierced his lip and pierced his eyebrow and everything too before they went on vacation, because he's probably gone full e-boy at this point.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I'm like kind of like putting my guard, like if like someone when it comes back like with like a new look, like holy shit. That was shook, with Jungkook, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember when he first came back, I was like, wait, are those real? Are those fake? It's like, no, those are
real. And then like we get more of their sleeve, like the sleeves, like, oh God.
And then the sleeve grew from there, and now it's like, hi, free the sleeve. But and then also on top of that too, all the members of BTS have dropped individual Instagram accounts, which that's been a trip to follow as of late at the last 2 days here, because it's basically been them trying to figure out how to use social media.
And also because Tabby and I were Tabby and my sister, we were like discussing how I don't think BTS would ever put up an Instagram account because well, in terms of like someone becoming more followed than like the rest of the members, or it's gonna be like very subjective with with a lot of fans and all of that. Because I thought they'll be like using like the main BTS to just like put a lot of their stuff, like they could have like made their own account and just to put all their personal stuff together. I thought that's what they would have done, but I'm very shocked when during my early shift at work, working at 4 a.m. I looked at my my social media and saw like BTS already put up their Instagram, like what the hell, trying to follow them. She started doing my work, trying to follow like each of the members.
I know, it was just like it was a crazy trip of them trying to follow all 7 of the members, because they all have very different styles of how they post. I know also,
Yeah.
I love how Chuga's first post is like, "How do I use Instagram?" So basically, it's a red picture. It was like
an old man, an old typical old man, like vibe from Yoongi again.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, it's been a trip
This is
just
gonna
to figure that out. Also, I have. Can
You're
I?
gonna
Can
be
I just?
asking them-
Can we talk
asking
about
the-
JK's? Can we talk about JK's username?
which I put up like I was like so quick. I was supposed to be working, but during my break, I had to like put up like some kind of like meme video just in honor of all the BTS. Like welcome to Instagram, but Jungkook's because like each member have like simple but very recognizable creative usernames. Like, you have Jin, which you have like at Jin, which I'm surprised like no one ever got the username for Jin.
I'm surprised
before.
too.
So,
I'm very surprised.
like
Zoe had
at
that.
Jin is like wow, okay, and also like Yoongi's August D or Suga's August D. J-Hope, which is like I think was like the most like creative out of the set. Well, most creative like in terms of like in connecting like him and under BTS, and also like having in tribute to armies as you are my hope.
Yes.
But also like you are me or whatever, so it's kind of like very it can like mean both things,
Multiple ways.
Yeah, and then the rest are just like some like you could recognize by their names. But with Jungkook, like I don't know what came up with him. In the words of Nicolas Cage in like one of his movies, Vampire's Kiss, A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R X T U V W X Y and Z. That's pretty much his username. We're not kidding, guys.
Not kidding. Go
type in at A B C D E F G, and there's like an underscore between the letters. Basically
it's an underscore under JK because JK, which I get it, but it's so long as username.
It's the long ass Instagram. Why do you? Could put JK, but he just put all the alphabets together. He just like remember like the whole alphabet. So. But I'm kind of like going back with Yoongi. I think like I can easily imagine like he asking like the Magne line for help. Like, how do you guys use this? Like, what do you do with this? How do you post picture?
No, but also apparently JK posted this on Weavers. Apparently he went to Hobie and he went to J-Hope. He's like, Hung, look at my username. Isn't this cool? And it's just like, yeah, I can imagine this energy so hard right now.
I bet they're all like, why?
Sure.
I bet
sure,
Namjoon
JK,
was
sure.
like, I bet like Namjoon when he tried to follow, like, where's your username, Jungkook? This.
So yeah, it's been a trip, you guys, to follow their Instagram. So go follow their Instagrams. It's been a trip to watch them try to figure this out. Wow. And if that's any indication, especially after the last vacation, because we got a lot of lives and a lot of crazy ass content from that last vacations they were on. We're in for a treat.
Already got like millions of followers, like
they do.
Instantly.
Which and I'm also happy that like they're able to like at least like filter out comments and stuff and everything.
Or
and,
not tag them. Yeah, they're not taggable too. It's like, damn it, I want to show them my art.
Yeah, like they've some safety precautions there.
Yeah.
Although their DMs are open, and I know some unsavory people have been in their DMs. So
at least there's like it's gonna be like requests or something, so they're not gonna be paying attention to it. So they can easily ignore it. But also we want to talk about Taehyung's little adventure on Instagram.
Oh, you can please go talk about please talk about V's adventure on Instagram here.
One quick note. I think Taehyung is like the most followed member out of all on BTS. I think as of right now. A notable actor is now following Taehyung. That would be Jung Ho-yeon from Squid Game. She played Sebyok, so she's following Taehyung there. So it's like, that's cute.
Very nice.
But anyway, so with Taehyung, I think he was trying to follow like his own members, like through the recommended, because that's what I did too.
Right.
And when I checked on Twitter, and I saw why Jennie from Blackpink is trending along with Taehyung. I was like, okay, what's going on? I really hope it's not another like some kind of scandal or dating rumor. I clicked on it, and it was just Taehyung accidentally following Jennie on Instagram, and he had to like quickly undo. But with with the power of the fandom, nothing can be ever like, no accident will be ever left unseen. So I love how the fans quickly screenshot Taehyung's following list, and it had like Jennie under there, and it had like and then we have Taehyung at like posting on Weverse asking like how the heck can you like fix or like do the undo settings, because Instagram's such a scary place. That's what he said on Weverse.
I mean, Instagram is a scary place, guys.
Yeah, you could already talk with Jim, yeah, and one of his admirers. But yeah,
let's not. Let's say we didn't and not, and just move on, because we have a lot of albums to get to. But yeah, we've talked enough here about this. But yeah, go follow them on Instagram. It's wild, and like I said, I'm happy they get to go and at least enjoy their holidays with their families, and they get to do whatever. For what I know, at least 3 of them are currently back in Korea. 4 of them are still in the States, I think.
Still chilling in the States.
Still chilling in the States. From what I know, at least RM was in Texas last I saw, because that's what he posted on Instagram. Anyway, that's what we've seen. But they get to enjoy their vacation. They get to do whatever they want for hopefully a good month now. So, or I'm hoping at least a month and a half. I'm hoping it's like 6 weeks of them doing nothing. Although for them, they're going to go stir crazy after a week because it's them. So that's typical of them. But I think we should just get into our album reviews, and we should just get right into the Christmas spirit, because we're talking about Christmas and the holidays. So shall we just get right into it? And
we'll try. I will try.
Well, I mean, it's Christmas music from Stray Kids, so I mean, how Christmassy is it gonna get in reality here? Are we really serious?
Well, like what do we expect with the title Christmas EveL? And by EveL, like EVE, and then like an added L.
Yeah. And so, like I said, our first review of this week was Stray Kids' special little mini holiday release here, Christmas EveL. There's 2 title tracks actually on here, because there's a 4-track release with Christmas EveL, again spelled EVEL, as well as Winter Falls, and then they had another song called 24 to 25, as well as a English release of Domino from No Easy on the album as well. But let's get into the title track itself, Christmas EveL.
Christmas EveL. Merry Christmas.
This is Christmas. This is...
It's pretty much what I think of Christmas as a whole.
This is... if I was thinking Christmas and Stray Kids, like, this is exactly what I was thinking of. Like, it's very hip-hop, Stray Kids style,
noisy.
Very noisy,
like party,
in your face, party-ish. I love the lyrics to this. I love how jaded the song is. Jaded and tongue-in-cheek it is, because it's very much pointing out like all the negative parts of Christmas, and I kind of like it. We're doing that.
Yeah, but it's still kind of like setting Christmas as like a really like fun like kind of aesthetic though. It's kind of like a comedic effect, like like all the misadventures in spending Christmas.
Yeah.
I felt like I could have gotten more a cynical take on Christmas. Like they could have like done something more like just like a statement about it. But it's
I think it
can't go like they probably might be controversial if they said something really negative about Christmas. But I think that'll be like the safest thing to do Christmas EveL.
Yeah, I mean it's super tongue in cheek. It's really kind of on a jokey level, like. Even the music video itself is like, it's super fun and like bizarre, and just it has a lot I will say this music video has a lot of Deadpool energy, I feel like.
Oh no crap. No why did I say no crap, no shit. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Reynolds include any Stray Kids songs in his 3rd movie.
Yeah, I'm seriously I'm petitioning for, like, I'm Yeah, if there is no Stray Kids in Deadpool 3, like there's
Good
nothing
to
wrong
me.
in the world. Um I do like a little bit of the wordplay in this. I do like the what was this Bang Chan saying crossing out Xmas in the end of the chorus. I kind of like that. That's kind of a cool play on words. Although I love apparently people did not like this line, but I like this line. The Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad.
What?
I can feel
Feliz
the
Navidad,
Feliz,
Feliz Navidad.
I can feel the evil coming, but
Felix
Felix never bad. Like I'm like, how can you hate that line? How can you hate Felix? Come on now.
It's good. Like,
It's a
I can
cute
get
song.
it. Like it's so like random and so like it's like campy in a way,
Mhm.
but if it's done by Felix, it's gonna
Yeah. It's
gonna
the
slap.
song. Yeah, the song is super it's super tongue in cheek. So like I'm like it works in the song and just how like crazy bizarre Christmas it is. So it's super fun and I love the beat of it itself too because it is very modern hip hop to it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
They were
no
super
kidding.
good.
But yeah, but the thing with me, like guys, if you guys know me more or you know me better, I don't enjoy Christmas songs. Mariah Carey like can go far away from me, but I get really pissed whenever I like hear Christmas, Christmas
Mhm.
music, Christmas carols coming in December. Like it puts a sour mood, in my soul.
Mhm.
Like, because the thing is that if they're all too like sentimental and
Mhm.
like this like they're forcing me to be happy in the season. Like there's a lot of things to be stressed, a lot of things for me to do in this
Yeah.
season. But so I'm kind of glad with like something like Stray Kids, Christmas EveL. At least I could like be so inspired to like cause a lot of chaos and for in this holiday season like
Mhm.
I kind of want like more chaos in my life.
And bring more chaos on Christmas. So that brings me, guys. What do you think about 24 to 25? Because that's a little bit more
Yeah.
Christmassy.
Yeah, that
So
yeah, I mean,
traditional
that's just,
Christmassy,
yeah.
I guess. I mean, I see what you're doing there. I want you to stay for Christmas. I see what you're doing there, Stray Kids. I'm calling you out. That's definitely more if like you wanted something a little bit more like traditional Christmassy, like a little bit more sappier. It's 24 to
You want to do like
25.
Happy Christmas Carols 24, 25 or
Yeah.
Winter Fall would probably be for you.
I don't know. I think Winter Falls I feel like Winter Falls, you could almost play that out even outside of Christmas because there's like no mentions of Christmas or anything in there. Because I felt like that felt more in line of like their mixtape series of songs where like they like kind of go into where like it's a little bit more like the love songs that they talk about, which I still want to know who the hell broke their hearts that they have these like really like heartbreaking songs. Like seriously, who broke their hearts? Han, who broke your heart? So yeah, because it's definitely a bit more and that's like I feel like Winter Falls is a little bit more like modern pop in its arrangements. I mean, I really, really liked it, like in terms of the vocals and stuff and how that broke down. Like I said, that it works on this. It works in this like holiday session, but also works just as an overall like winter song. I think too. For this time of the year, like it's like that winter breakup song. So it really fit on this release a little bit. So.
Yeah, I think I prefer like Winter Falls more than
24 to 25. I do too.
Yeah.
Like I really do like Winter Falls. Like I said, it feels a little bit more like in their mixtape series of stuff like with like and Gone Days and those kinds of songs. So and then like I said, they have an English version of Domino on here as well. So
which a lot of people are kind of it's kind of not easy for us because we are so used to the Korean, like how it's sounded. Domino was like one of the rare exceptions where like it really flows well, like even same as the original. So I really enjoy enjoy that.
The translations aren't too off, and the flow on it works super, super well. Like it's super close to how the flow was in Korean as well as in English. So both on point songs. So
I love that. I'm a Nakita, like domino,
Domino.
domino.
Sorry, that chorus was just put my head. Also, I still can't go to the fact that like when Domino's the Twitter account was asking, "Hey, what did we change our bio to?" Basically, stays like overpowered it, and it's like said you should change it to a domino, and they did.
Yeah,
That
Damn
was
it.
a whole thing, and that was amazing. So, hey, Domino's asked, stays delivered. So, this is what happens when you give the power to the internet. So, but yeah, if you're looking for something that's just kind of like fun, like kind of jokey Christmas, like yeah, go check out Christmas EveL. If you want something more traditional, 24 to 25. If you're looking for a winter breakup song, Winter Falls. Overall, I think
okay. Yeah, you think sorry.
no,
go
I
ahead.
think it was a pretty. I think it was a pretty. I thought it was a pretty fun release for them to do. It was like, I mean, it was kind of like a random, like, hey, we're doing this for Christmas. And it's like, okay, because they had just dropped No Easy. So I thought we were going to get a, re-release before this. So, but for maybe.
we got
Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got a lot of like K-pop groups that release a lot of Christmas songs. Like EXO is one of like the main examples. Who I think traditionally before like they've done a lot of like December, winter Christmas releases.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen some groups release Christmas stuff. Like I know the Boys released a Christmas song last year called Christmassy. And then, but yeah, the EXO I know yearly was doing winter releases. So, I really should put together a Christmas playlist, a K-pop playlist, because there are some Christmas songs out there from K-pop groups. So
I feel like I want to like do like some kind of wintry kind of vibes from like K-pop groups.
I know.
Like it'll be hard for me to like because I don't enjoy Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Like, which one I like? I'm really picky.
I'll show the holiday version of Dynamite on there because there's that too.
No, there's like the Butter holiday remix. Did you hear that? Well, I didn't hear it because
I haven't heard that yet. No, but I know there's a holiday version of Dynamite too from last year, which because that was like one of the 20 versions of Dynamite they released. BTS.
No, they're doing it with Butter too. Like all the remakes with Butter.
It's like we get it, although Butter's been out for a while, but we get it. I get it. All right.
Yeah. The 24, 25. I apologize for this, Jenny, but why am I thinking of the Ariana Grande song?
Oh God, no.
24, 25. Okay.
Great. Now, this is not going to put me in a good headspace now because we're just moving on to Kai and like how sexy that is. So
that transition. That transition for me.
Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate that. So yeah, let's just. Shit. Okay, let's just move on to Kai. Anyway, let's just move on.
Out of the gutter. We'll try.
Further in the gutter. I'm not sure where we're gonna go from here.
Further into the gutter.
I'm not sure where we're going at this point, but let's just move on. We're going to move on to our next release of the week. And this is the second solo mini album release from Kai of EXO with his mini album Peaches, with the title track Peaches. And I want to hear what you have to first.
Good pick, Kai.
I was kind of ask like what is with like this year and making fruit overtly sexual between watermelon sugar and then now the second song about peaches. It's
a thing with a lot of like food related topics. It's a thing that spans from like way back then in the 20th century music. It's not like such a rare thing that we're getting a lot of sexually undertones with food, but I think peaches is like the next big thing to sexualize. No, I'm kidding.
I would say then I'm happy we didn't sexualize butter at this point.
Yeah. Well, how the heck can you like make it like sexy with butter?
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Not put up any scenarios.
No, I'm not. No. Just talk about peaches, please. Before I gotta get my mind out of this gutter.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. Well, with the peaches, but I feel like the song, or even the album in general, like Kai's new album is very, I would say like pulled back because it's like more soft in terms of like not putting that much any like production into it. It's like it's very ambient. Like it's very ambient with its choice of like music style.
Yeah.
It's because yeah, with Peaches, because you know with his first debut track with
Mm-hmm.
I feel weird now saying that, but it has like a lot of like R&B infused with a bit of like synth related flair into it. But I feel like with Peaches, I think it's just has like a very soft musical arrangement. Yeah, it's more soothing in terms of like the whole album. It's very soothing and it's very like dreamlike in terms of like like putting like some kind of description into it.
Yeah.
But
No, I would
it's
say
still
that I agree with that. I have
yeah.
to immensely agree with that.
Yeah, even though I prefer like his first his debut album because I feel more of like the energy coming into it. I really admire Kai's choice into making something more subdued like with Peaches. It's like it's very more like a slower into like the slower bit of like an R&B ballad vibe, but for his songs. But it still doesn't stop like Kai from having like some kind of suggestive lyricisms just because it feels like really dreamlike and innocent. We're still we can still hear a lot of like sense of like Kai's charisma because coming out of the songs. I don't know if I want to like make some like examples from like the lyrics from Peaches. Can I?
Yeah, I mean, I know because
You're
these type
like peaches, but the sweetness in my mouth feels good to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn it, Kai.
It's like I don't know if we've crossed the line between sensual and then like sexual. You know what I mean? Like
It's like a good bridge, like with
Yeah.
like the like this the very like the very dreamy like like music style.
Mhm.
But it kind of like gets me at makes me forget not to pay attention to Kai's singing or like what he's singing about. I think which is a good thing that to make it like very very smooth or very like very soft.
Mhm.
But yeah, God damn you, Kyle.
I know. I mean,
I love
yeah, I guess like you look at the lyrics and you're just like, well, this is really, really suggestive. But then like the song is like this, like it puts you in this like a three-throw, like very dream like quality, like it does like it's like it puts you in this world where you just want to like kind of forget everything and just kind of get entranced by it.
Yeah.
It is very entrancing. And you do almost like it just kind of goes over your head of how hella suggestive those lyrics are. Because I'm not trying to draw comparisons to Call Me by Your Name with this at all. God damn
the
that
movie, not
God,
the little nods.
Yeah. Not the song, but I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah.
I
And
cannot
there's
look at
usage of peaches.
I cannot look at a peach the same way again after that movie. Yeah, it's just like very it's so different based from his first single, from his first solo album, and because that was so more in your face, like R&B, kind of more louder and brash, and this is just more sensual and sexy R&B. And it shows that he can do both, and especially with like his falsetto, because they really are playing with they really are pushing his falsetto in this album. I think that all the songs, especially into like Vanilla, the second track, because like the second track Vanilla is like kind of almost fits in that same vein as Peaches, where it's also because it has that dreamlike quality to it too.
It gives me it's like a mixture because when I first heard Vanilla, well in the trailer before the music video dropped for Peaches, the music itself, it just gives me like a lot of Prince vibes because like I was like thinking like how he sang and like the music arrangements and like the choice of like the instruments that was played, like the guitar strumming, it gives me a lot of like Prince, Prince Purple Rain, a lot of like the slow, R&B ballad from like the 80s. I don't know if any of you guys can like see like the comparisons I'm making, but to me it feels such a like a Prince, like something what Prince would probably sing.
I mean, I can see where you're getting the Prince like ideas from. Like there's this very 80s quality to it. Than the 80s R&B quality to the song itself. And yeah, it's it's just it has a bit of the throwback vibe with that.
Even just like how like just how Prince would sing. There are like times when during the vanilla there's like the like vanilla the vanilla. It kind of sounds like with Prince with how Prince would like try to like vocalize in this some of his songs, and not to mention the falsetto kind of brings me like Prince like doing his falsetto. Yeah, I mean, it's like, wow. Like, I don't know if that was intentional or if like the producer who made this, like probably got it, got a lot of like inspiration from Prince. But yeah, even the lyrics too, like you go taste like vanilla, vanilla. Because Prince is such, very notorious in making a lot of like sex, like I think it's almost explicit, like with his terms of like having like a sexual related content into his songs.
Oh,
At least with Kai, it's like much tamer. Thank goodness. But
yeah, I don't know how overtly sexual it could have gotten. Thankfully,
yeah. I really love the music though. For Vanilla, I think it's probably like one of my favorite tracks from the album. I even love like how like the ending too. I like the version in the trailer because I think they put like more of like the instrumental dance break. That could have if you guys like checked out the trailer for that, there were like this dance break where it has like a much more like an energetic like drive with a bit of the EDM sound put into it. I think it would have been benefited if they kind of included with the actual track because it brings a lot more diversity and diverse element into his track because it would have fallen down into like very repetitive with the vanilla and like the chorus. So yeah.
Okay. Just broken down the chorus a little bit differently, at least having more instrumentation in there. So okay. Any other tracks on Peaches that you really liked, that you really dug?
Oh shoot, the third one from Peaches, which is Domino, which probably like I think this will be the third song that I like that it's titled Domino. With Wavy, like last year with Domino.
Oh my god!
This year with Stray Kids with Domino.
I was gonna say, which is the superior Domino?
With another Domino title. Yeah, what the hell's going on with Domino's in K-pop?
I was gonna say, which is the superior Domino now?
I don't know, because I think Wavy's Domino holds a special place in my heart because it has like a very like very. It's something like it really impacts you with the chorus and all that. So I think Wavy for me, they came in first.
I can legitimately say that. Yeah, I can legitimately say that.
Yeah, but Domino for Kai, Kai's Domino in this track is like I think one of the most. It's like it feels most different from his album because you know how we said like his album is very, very ambient and like very soft. Yeah, with Domino, it feels like more of like the club heavy, something like you can get down. I said it on like when I first heard it, like this is a twerk worthy song.
I mean, you're not wrong. It definitely like I literally wrote down I could get down to this in the club. Quite honestly, like this is definitely a club banger of a song. Like I could see this literally being here in the States, like at like any club. Like it's that kind of level of a song. It easily is it's a twerkable song. You won't see me twerk. I can't twerk, but
yeah, I can't twerk, but I'm probably like something to get down to, or something, or I can like channel my inner Kai. I don't dance well as Kai, but
yeah. No,
I like how the song though it like brings more because you know how Kai always goes for like the falsetto, soft like falsetto tone. I like how this adds more layer with Kai's range of singing because like the chorus riff has him like singing like in a low voice.
Oh yeah,
and like the verses it has him like in the higher range. So it's like I like that.
So you get to see more of his vocal range because again, like I said, most of this you really do hear is falsetto, but yeah, Domino you do get to hear more of his lower ranges, which is nice to finally get to appreciate that a little bit more. So because it's pretty sexy, no lie, but
even like the bass is like doom 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 doom. It's like it's very like bouncy. It's like a hip, like kind of like hip hop bounce. Like he would hear.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that immensely. So, Yeah, I mean, first, like I said, I probably do like Kai's first album probably a little bit better because I do like it's a little bit more energetic. You know,
And it
overall.
had, yeah, and it
Um,
has more like, you know, like music, like adds a lot of more subgenres into like
yeah,
his tracks too. So
a
it
little bit,
has more varied.
a
Yeah.
little more diversity in his
Mhm.
like in the R&B vein. I mean, this is R&B too, but like it's still pretty. It's like feels like in a similar vein of R&B, whereas his first mini album had like different subgenres of R&B throughout that he's kind of playing around with, and you could kind of see him experimenting with a lot of different stuff. And yeah, I kind of maybe lean towards his first album, but this isn't too bad for a second offering,
Yeah.
I think. So
Yeah.
I think he did a pretty good job with this overall. But yeah, I mean, I still kind of lean towards the first album myself, but that's just a personal opinion. So
Mhm.
and I'm still looking at Peach, cannot look at a Peach the same way ever again.
Thanks, you guys. But
Thanks.
yeah, also, yeah, even what I said, like Prince, it kind of reminds me of like Jimin's Serendipity as well with Peaches and Vanilla, because it has like a very soothing, like, you know, like very soothing you know, beat to it. But yeah, like it grabs you with like that like dreamlike aesthetic, as well as like their, you know, falsetto, because
Yeah.
they're really known, like Jimin and Kai are really known for like their voice, their falsetto voice, and not to mention that, you know, they're close friends in, you know, in
Yes.
the K-pop industry. So you know, I'm gonna make the comparison.
No, I mean, I think it's a legit comparison. Honestly, it's a very legit comparison. So, and those are both very very dreamlike songs. So I agree with that. So should we just
Not gonna listen to Serendipity again.
And now I can't listen to Serendipity the correct way ever again. No, I'm kidding. Should we just move on to our next song? Should we move on to our next album, I should say? Because we have our third release of the week, which comes from fourth generation group Everglow, girl group Everglow, and their newest release, Return of the Girl, and their title track, Pirates. No relation to ATs at all. And yeah, I mean, this is what their second release of the year, I think, for Everglow. Yeah, La Di Da came out last year. So yeah, because this is their second. I was trying to keep on my Everglow releases in check here. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Everglow, I feel like Pirate itself, like the song, kind of feels like it's gone back to like more like classic Everglow. I guess if you could say
like
classic
girl group, like girl crush theme.
Yeah, like what they had when they started as like rookies, in terms of their like older music when they first came out into the scene back in 2019 with the Arrival of Everglow, their debut track Dun Dun, which is a great song. You should check that out, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's how I've like, it was like Dun Dun and Bon Bon Chocolat like were like my jams when those came out. Those are some amazing songs. And yeah, I mean, because I feel like it's kind of the style and the breakdown of the song is very similar to Dun Dun.
Yeah, like I think the first verse was like kind of reminds me of like some of the singing in Dun Dun. It's like na 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 na. Like didn't I hear that from Dun Dun? But it's like more fast paced. So yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I got a lot of like, you know, like a lot of Dun Dun references, or, you know, like their older their older tracks. So yeah, I kind of miss their further, because I think first their previous comeback feels like a lot of like more boy, you know, a boy group kind of concept. So I kind of miss with first. Yeah, I thought they'll be like doing a bit more like that, or explore like a lot of like different styles. But yeah, I'm kind of like, oh, they're going back to with like the girl crush like the concepts, you know, from their previous tracks. I was like, okay, like it's interesting, you know, them returning their roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if, I guess, like, it will pays off. I don't know. I really like First. I think First is one of my favorite songs to come out of 2021, honestly.
Yeah, same here. Because it was like a huge surprise for me. Like I never because I've always wanted like a lot of girl groups to have like this kind of more dynamic choreography and performance in their
Yeah.
in their music, and yeah, like Everglow like really killed that,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of wish to see more of that with other groups.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know I do too. Like, I would love to see girl groups try to kind of push that envelope a little bit more. Because yeah, I mean, the song was so strong, the choreography was so powerful, and it just, yeah, it fit into that vein of like some of the fourth generation like noise groups. It kind of was fitting into that vein a little bit. So, yeah, this kind of feels like goes back into like girl crush, almost like a girl empowerment vibe a little bit, kind of drawing a little bit from ITZY a little bit too, and like girl empowerment with the song. Which I no lie, I mean, I think they did a good job with it.
I think I think I really enjoyed like their chorus portion, just like and I love like the crescendo, and it brings more of like like a lot of inspiration into like that girl power like energy. So I think they it was like really effective in that portion. I think if I want to go with the feedback or like my major like but on this song, it was like the pirate riff, like I'm a pirate, a pirate. It kind of like it feels really out of place, and like when it goes into like into like the main riff of the music, it's kind of like it's very it's not like it's kind of jarring for me, so it kind of feels weird whenever I hear that that portion during the song. But except I did enjoy like the pirate riff in the climax of the song, because they added like more of the crescendo, like swelling of in the music, so that's why I think it fits more.
Oh, okay. So when they kind of built in more like the instrumentation and the instrumentals in there, like towards the end, the back end of the song. Okay.
Yeah, and with the chorus, like implementing the chorus into like I'm a pirate, a pirate. Like okay, that sounds more really fitting.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, I will have to say, the one line I did hear that "Shiver Me Timbers" in there. I'm like, I had to cringe at that a little bit. I'm like, y'all, ATEEZ hasn't even done that. Like that.
ATEEZ never did that. No, but
that was a little cringe. That was a little cringe. To me, I mean, I was like, I'm not even sure if that would have worked yet, because I like the translation. I'm like, I don't know if that works. It's like I get it. It's the pirate theme. I get it.
Yeah, but like you can, I mean, you can still have those kind of pirate references, but only if you deliver it with like much more with like some kind of like character, like some kind of gutter, I guess, some kind of guttural sense.
Yeah.
Because like even like the I'm a pirate like riff, like some of the other members, it feels really nasally, like how they say it, and it feels really like off.
Yeah.
I'm a pirate. Yeah, a pirate. And even the shiver me, I'm a shiver me timbers. It's like it
doesn't
very
work.
girly. If you want to,
it's like you're playing a pirate. It's not like you're actually a pirate. It's like they're faking it a little bit.
Maybe
it's a vibe.
If one of like the main rappers have like the kind of like actual like flow into like the thing in like some kind of like rap portion, and then I don't know, I'm not so familiar with the members, so I don't know who the main rapper is, but maybe if you can give them like kind of like something for them to like freestyle, or like something like to have like an actual like rap version, maybe you can like put in like the Shiver Me Timbers, but make it like so a creative, like and make it like into creative
wordplay with it or something.
Wordplay, and like I think makes it more impactful, or gives them more like punch into the the line, if it's like in the rap portion or something. I don't know.
So like those are my main critiques of the song. I mean I liked. I mean, I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. I mean, I'm definitely going back to first. First is my first. I think first is a more superior track this year from the Everglow, but I mean, I think it's a decent track. So I mean, it's got a good driving beat to it. It feels super clubby. Like it's definitely in that fourth gen like camp of girl groups. Like they're still staying in that noise lane for the girl groups. Like it's kind of still in that lane, but it's not as in your face as first was, and as innovative as first was, and it kind of it'd be kind of nice if they could have combined a little bit of what first was with like some of their earlier stuff like Dun Dun or Bon Bon Chocolat or
they could have made like some kind of like some kind of bridgeway or something like to make their themes consistent, because we've had like so when a lot of groups come back with a repackage or like their second comeback of the year, like they kind of like make it connect with like their previous, like you kind of say that with NCT with from Sticker to Favorite, like you can see like some kind of elements that connects the two together. But so that's I wish Everglow would have done that. That's what I was kind of expecting when they were like setting up the concepts and the teasers and all that. So yeah, I think it's my part. It's because I love her so much. Like wish like they would have like done like some kind of something similar with that again. So yeah.
So regarding the other tracks on the album though, I mean, this is another mini album from them. Were there any tracks that caught your attention that you really liked, really dug, anything like that?
Well, this first track, well, I don't consider it like my favorite track. I kind of noticed something with the song Back Together, because you know how it's like the formulaic thing for a lot of groups or a lot of like artists to put like their slow ballad songs at the end of their album. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting for them to have like a really slow introduction with Back Together, like a very sentimental introduction. I kind of and I also like was thinking when they went to the chorus, I was thinking, what does this remind me of BTS's We Are Bulletproof, The Eternal? Yeah, even like the something like it's something around those range of like how they're singing it, and like it's like that sounds like the Bulletproof We're Eternal, like we are or something like okay
yeah
I don't know if you saw that, but I was like,
I see where you're going with that. Yeah, a little bit with it. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, it's strange like for them to start with such a slow track, and then for it to go into such an aggressive song like Pirate, with how driving that beat is. It's interesting how they decided to arrange the album that way. So I mean, the rest of I really liked Don't Speak afterwards. Like Don't Speak has this like kind of nice soulful vibe. Like it feels very soul driven.
Yeah, it's like probably the most distinctive out of like the the rest of the songs in this album, because it has like more of like the unique flair of bringing that like that retro or the old, like has like the really the elements from like the old pop music from the 60s. Or maybe even the 50s with like even like how they play the keyboards, for the keyboard instrumentals. It feels really nostalgic to a lot of the 60s pop, blues, and soul sound.
Yeah, and it still kind of fits in that girl crush vibe of their sound, but it's got this almost very like 60s soulful vibe to it, this feel, especially into the verse.
It feels well in with when the chorus has like more of like the city pop, like like the Japanese city pop sound. So it's a really great blend of like a lot of like classic elements or classic music genres into one, and like infused with like the K-pop vibe here with Everglow.
I think honestly Don't Speak is probably my favorite track on the album, period. I think I like it better than Pirate. So
same here.
I liked Nighty Night afterwards too. Like I'm not gonna lie, I think I liked all the other songs after Pirate better than Pirate.
It's really taunting though. It feels really like I don't know why. It feels really threatening with that track Nighty Night, because I thought when I saw like that track Nighty Night, I thought it was like kind of like lullaby-ish kind of like theme. But no, it went to the other direction, like Nighty Night, dude. It's like oh god, I don't know if I want to go to sleep.
There's this there's like this like threatening edge to it, because it's like I think it comes from like using the undercurrent of like some like 90s hip hop beats to it. Like there's a lot of inspiration using like I think 90s hip hop in that song, in the production side of it, and I think that just combined with like how the lyrics just kind of there's just like weird threatening edge to it. And yeah, it's the weird kind of like mocking, like, ooh, nighty night, like, oh, I could get you kind of weird. I don't know. I liked it. I like nighty night.
It would like fit well in an action movie or something, or it's like a girl power action movie, and then they play nighty night. Like whenever like they knock a lot of like villains and all that would work well.
Yeah, like yeah, it's like the big fight like in the alley, or fighting the bad guys and kind of deal. Like the
nighty night.
Something like that, yeah. And then yeah, considering how slow the album starts, Company, the way it ends with Company is just definitely way like opposite in your face. Because you think like something like Company would start the album, and then Don't Speak should end it, but it's the opposite. So it's kind of
back together,
yeah. So yeah, it's just interesting how they laid out the album itself, but
it really ends with a bang.
It does. It definitely ends with a bang. It's really ends being in your face. So I guess they wanted to start out slow and just be in your face the rest of the way, this album. So yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, I go back to liking First better. It's not a terrible song. I kind of
there's elements we enjoy, but like there's some parts like that really like puts us off. Like, I'm a pirate. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. There's just some elements hit, some elements missed. It's a little bit hit and miss. So, and then I guess from that we're gonna get to our first debut of the week. And this is the new girl group from Starship Entertainment, and this is the girl group EveL. With their debut title track 11, because you make me feel like an 11 apparently.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now you make me feel like 11. I have to say, I mean, I would say when the song started off, like I was getting a lot of tropical beats, like Atlantis from Shiny earlier this year. Like I was getting that kind of vibe. And then when it got further into the song, I was getting a lot of like
the bridge
into like the bridge into the chorus. Like I was getting a lot of like Eastern, like almost like Indian vibes a little bit. Like I feel like the influence, like like Blackpink tends to do a lot in their music.
Yeah, that's okay. That's kind of funny because when it first started out, it feels very like those like a mix of like Middle Eastern / Bollywood type of music from the get go. Even like the designs too, like the set designs. If you watch the music video, it kind of like has like that kind of aesthetic as well.
Oh yeah, I mean the design all across the board in the music videos all over the place. But yeah, there's a lot of that Eastern element throughout, which
like traditional like music or like that inspired that that sounds like from like those types of civilizations. But
which there have been good and bad. Has been used in Kpop. There's been sometimes controversy about that. So I've seen that happen. But I mean, overall, as the song itself, I mean, I think it's just. Well, go ahead.
Well, okay. When I first, my first impression from the song, I was like, I was actually weirded out by like how it sounded at first. Because I don't know if you're probably gonna like say the same thing, but when it got to the bridge, like transitioning into the chorus,
that weird
that part
down?
When it started when it started winding down, it was like. That feels like really off, like off beat, and like it was kind of like it put me out of place. Like again, it feels like very jarring to me. And then even during the chorus, is like when it goes into like when it immediately goes into like the quiet like tone with like when 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I get where they're trying to like like kind of build up into like the title thing at the title the title track to make it like seem more very punchy, like to make it more impactful. I get that, but when I first heard it, it feels very off to me. But but when I listened to it a few more times now, I think it's starting to grow on me.
Okay.
I do appreciate like them putting a lot of like very experimental like arrangements into their music, because that's something that's very signature of K-pop. I think when a lot of people like come here or listen to like some K-pop songs for examples, like they have like some kind of weird thing that makes it so different from like American music or
Mhm.
Western music. So I appreciate them still continuing that kind of signature
Mhm.
style for the genre to make it more unique in a
Mhm.
sense.
No,
So
I agree with that.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, how about you though, Jenny? Like, what were your
Yeah,
impressions?
that wind down, like it does catch you off guard the first time you hear because you're not expecting that.
Yeah.
Because it's just it feels disjointing a little bit, but like
Hmm.
after you listen to it a couple times, it works. But that first time you hear it, you're just like, wait, what's happening to the song? Like,
Whoa.
why is it slowing down? It's just like winding down. Why is my computer slowing down? But um yeah, I do appreciate the experimentation with the song, like them actually trying to do something a little more experimental with the title track, especially with the debut title track and trying to
Hmm.
set the tone for the group itself and being out and making a strong, impactful debut. Because it's obviously really hard right now because there's always groups coming out and you have to really make a impact in order
Hmm.
to make it in this industry. So,
Like bring some kind of like identity to yourself too.
mhm.
Especially with a lot of people, fall as being generic. For your debut, like, oh, you sound like like another existing group that right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I can see elements from other groups, but I can't say like they sound like another group with the title
Mhm.
track. The other song, however, for Take It,
Oh,
um this just feels like almost feels like a throwaway track. Like they just needed to put something else
yeah.
on this.
I already said in my notes like I really didn't care for like their second track. Like it feels like, yeah, like I said, like very fourth gen K-pop generic.
Yeah. Like it feels like anybody could have done this song. Like it really
Yeah,
is, it's super
aespa could have like
generic.
aespa could have like sang this song and we wouldn't tell the difference.
Espa, Weekly, Stacy, Oh My Girl. Name any fourth gen girl group here, honestly.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
yeah, it's
At least with 11 they tried something, like they actually,
mhm,
11 is very different than
mhm,
yeah. And the more I listen to it, the more I really enjoy like the some
mhm.
of the portions of it, because or like say yeah, some of the parts, because uh, during the second verse, or like during the second part of the middle part of the song, when it introduces like the post chorus segment. So
Mhm.
after like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
you make me feel like 11, and like then it
Oh
has like
yeah.
a very like it has like a very adventurous feel into it. Like it's like something
Mhm.
that he feels like he wanted to like do something with. Yeah, it feels very like adventurous and very like um yeah, it puts a lot of like energy into the music. I think like even though I was like a bit weirded out with the winding down parts of the song, I think the person who did it well, or that was like the strongest with it, was the person in the second chorus, or the second part of the verse and the chorus, because I think like the voice really helped, like not sounding it too weird. Because
Mhm.
I think the other, like the first and like the third member, had like the really nasally sound that feels really like kind of, I don't know, very gr- like grating. Like I didn't want to say like how to describe it, but yeah,
Okay.
it's just yeah, very nasally. But
Okay.
yeah, I think from the song, I think the second part was like the strongest in terms of the
Okay.
verse and the chorus.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's interesting to note that like how the title track is like super super strong, but then like the second track is just like seriously, it's super weak. So
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what Starship is doing with that release, but yeah, I mean if we can hopefully see more of like what 11 was, like I can see that potential for this girl group being immensely successful
Hmm.
in a very very competitive fourth gen girl group market, because there are a
They
lot of really good girl groups out there right now.
hmm Yeah, they
So,
overtook Everglow because they both came out at the same time, and
mhm.
they had more views than Everglow's pirate music video. So that's a good start, because they really went out from like millions of views. So it's
Mhm.
very impressive.
Yeah, so they really came out the gate swinging here. So, and it really helps that they have a big company like Starship behind them. Starship being the
Yeah.
same company that's behind Monster X and Gravity. So yeah, this is hopefully means big and better things for them, but we'll see what happens with Ive. I do know they did have a minor controversy to start their careers too. Apparently their hand gesture when they introduced themselves looked very similar to Everglow's. Apparently it looked very
Yeah.
close to Everglow's. So they apparently have to have to change it, or they stopped using it. So because there's already were complaints from K-Nuts about that.
Yeah. Starting with some controversy, and
So yeah,
that's
just a minor controversy with them, but I mean that's pretty minor considering. So but we only got 2 more releases to get through this week. Let's get to our next one. This one came out on Friday of the week, which was on the 2nd, or no, the 3rd. The 3rd was on Friday. And this is the 6th mini album from On and Off, and their final album before they go and enlist in the military here, with Goosebumps and the title track itself, Goosebumps. And I mean, holy cow, they've released 4 albums this year, because they had the album, the repackage, the summer album, and now this one. So they've been busy.
They've been really booked, and like they're like grinding their gears.
Yeah, they really, after Kingdom, they like really I think they dropped like 5 albums between the end of Road to Kingdom and now here. So like they've really been pumping out music. So they've really worked hard just to kind of get to where they're at now. But with Goosebumps itself, I think it's a continuation that's that retro futuristic sound that we've seen with like Beautiful Beautiful and Ugly Dance. And
it's like a trilogy. Like it really like sets up that it's like a trilogy with that kind of concept from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even the music video kind of built on that trilogy itself a little bit too. With that, like with the like kind of like this very futuristic, like Tron-esque cyberpunk, yeah. And still tying in a lot of stuff from their universe, because their universe is, I'm still trying to digest their universe a lot because it's very trippy. But I do love this sound. I really do love this like retro futuristic sound that they have. That is just them, because it's nothing else like it in K-pop.
Yeah, same here. I think it brings such a more childlike, and that's not to say like it's not a negative childish connotation, but it's very like it feels very imaginative, and there's like something like a kid would probably like how they would, their perspective of what the future would look like, or like the futuristic set. That's pretty much like with On and Off's aesthetic, as well as like their their choice of music. It's very optimistic. It's very like it's very electrifying, with putting like a 80s retro with a mix of futurist wave with their music and videos.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a neo retro. I guess it would almost be like the genre I could call it, if that's if you can call that a genre. Like it's got this very just the way they build on that, and how they are able to combine all this like retro into the future. It's so cool. I mean, like I said, they've had the same production crew their whole entire careers over at WM Entertainment. So like they've been able to do that, for the whole time, with Mono Tree and stuff. So like the Mono Tree just kills it every time. So and yeah, I mean, I think that I really like Goosebumps because I love how it's like the optimism of Beautiful, and just like the funness of Ugly Dance. This almost has like a darker edge to it, because it's kind of feels a little bit more sinister. Like there's just something like these sinister undertones, like something's gonna happen, like something's not quite right. That's why like the Goosebumps really does, it makes sense for a title track, and like makes sense for the title of the song, because it definitely gives you that edge, like something's gonna happen, like you're on edge.
I kind of felt
eh,
that sense, like creeping up with Ugly Dance. So I think it kind of upped like the stakes here with
mhm,
Goosebumps.
mhm.
And yeah, I think, but it's still like they still kept like like the fun, the very enjoyable like essence in
Mhm,
with their music. So
mhm.
but it has like the more like it's like actually you're adding like some stakes or some kind of like immersions
Yeah,
in in your in the narrative that you're like presenting,
yeah,
with this third or like this third part of the story. I don't know if they're all
mhm.
connected, but I think they are connected, like with from beautiful to ugly dance to
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
It does feel like these albums that have come out this year. Um, I mean, even Poppin' has some ties into the music video that has ties into their universe as well.
Oh right,
Um,
I forgot. Sorry. Yeah,
that's okay because it's weird because how that does not tie the music video does not tie into the song at all. Like it's the joyful
like
song and that
filler.
music video is very dark. Um, but yeah, it's fun almost kind of trying to figure out like all the pieces because it's like there is like this mystery like almost throughout the music video of like you're trying to figure out like what's exactly happening because like there's a lot of stuff happening on Edge with their music videos and like a lot of like
Hmm.
betrayal and stuff. And it's very interesting to see what's happening because it feels like there's a lot of betrayal between each other, like the members and stuff, and all the hopping between worlds and stuff. Because there's been a lot of world hopping with them, like digital hopping between worlds and stuff. So it's been fascinating to see that and just to see this kind of build up to where we're at now. And then now we're gonna have this like 18-month break. Unfortunately to be left on edge to be like what happens next, well we don't know, we're gonna have to wait a while.
Yeah,
um
we're gonna be up in the military soon.
we have
We'll get
to
back to it
we'll go
one
back to
year
this
later.
eventually. um but I mean as for a final like album, I think this was pretty strong.
Yeah.
This is a pretty strong, like they gave 5 pretty strong uh tracks for Fuses, which is our fandom. Again, to for the the final goodbye, I guess, before they go off to the military. I mean, they all kind of still have that like kind of like retro future sound to them a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean,
You
go ahead. Like, I want to know what
the
what your thoughts are.
well, yeah, I like how they're being no, they're just being consistent with like their their style of music,
Hmm.
especially with when it comes to like their slower parts of the in of their album, which I will. It's like one of the rare
Hmm.
groups that I enjoy their slower songs because it's not as like sentimental, as like from other groups because
Yeah.
they bring more of like that R&B 80s 90s the 80s and 90s R&B ballads, like like something you would hear from Boys to Men, that kind of like that kind of
Hmm.
feeling into it. So I really like it 'cause it really like wants you to like groove into like the slow songs or just like snap your fingers.
Yeah.
So
Like, are you talking about Alarm, the fourth track on
Alarm,
here?
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
I
my
th- I
favorite like
really
B-side.
I think Alarm is, I think, one of my favorite ballads from them, period. Like, they do write some really good ballads, but I think Alarm is my favorite one of theirs. Like, it's so good. Just how the vocals just combine on it, and and I'm a sucker for ballads, period. Um, On and Off's always nails theirs, and this is just super sublime and how it just comes together. Yeah, again, that 80s, 90s R&B kind of undercurrent with their vocals just tie in really well, and it really comes together as like this like penultimate song. And then I have to say that I really like the last song, Show Must Go On,
Oh
which I think
yeah,
is a great finale to where we're at
no,
now for them. um
another case of like ending up with a bang.
exactly. Gave me a lot of vibes to their Road to Kingdom finale track, New World, which I don't know if you've ever heard that track.
I
um
don't think so yet.
yeah, it gives me as a lot of the similar energy to New World, which is very much, it's like this very driving inspirational, like it feels like something that you could probably put as like beginning of an anime,
Oh
honestly.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
It's very much that kind of energy to it. And I think it's a great ending to this era, I guess, in their music. I guess you can call it an era in their music because they're going to basically be going on hiatus now for 18 months. And yeah, and it's just a great, like, show. The show must go on. Like, we have to continue on. Like, and we're going to continue on once we're done with this. So I think it's just a great, like, we're putting a pin here. This is where we're at. And we'll come back to it when we come back to it. So I really like that. And no lie, I'm a little sad. I'm really sad that this is gonna be a hard one for me to get through for military, because I really like these guys and I'm gonna miss them when they're gone doing their service. So I'm hoping the 18 months goes fast.
Yeah, it's a very fitting. Yeah, it's a very fitting. A fitting track to close into, and but I like how it's not. Yeah, like, with me, I like how it's not like sentimental. I was like, oh, we will see each other again. Please don't forget about it. Yeah, I like how it's like they really like kept into like their identity as like a very energetic group, and like choosing that something like a really fast paced, upbeat style, upbeat style into closing out your album. I enjoy that.
Yeah. So like I said, I really became a Fuse hard this year.
That's good.
And it's like I said, this is a hard one for me to get through. When they're when the enlistment pictures are gonna come and they all shave their heads, I'm probably gonna cry.
Imagine how it's gonna be for BTS, dude.
I don't want to know. It's gonna be hard because it's 5 of them. Like, the one who doesn't have to shave their head is you, and I'm like, oh. I'll just see all of them shave their heads.
I mean, like rubbing her. He's all gonna be rubbing each other's head. Yeah.
So I'm also curious to see what he's gonna do while they're all gone. If he's gonna do anything solo wise, or what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
if he's gonna do some acting, or what he's gonna do. I know he's done some they've done some web drama stuff on and off.
Did he?
They have done some web drama stuff, but yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do. So
yeah, hopefully they give him an opportunity to like do like some solo ventures on his own. They can't just cooped up in the basement for like 1 year.
No, I'm sure he's
jobless.
I'm sure he'll figure out something to do while they're gone. So
that's good.
I'm hoping they do. So it'll be good to see what they all do for him. So. But yeah, this is a really, really good album, and they did a really good job with this like finale before they go off. So this is a really, really good comeback for them for on and off. So I hope they get a win. I hope they get a win for Goosebumps. I really do.
Yeah. I love their album or their album covers too. I really like it's very very interesting. Like a picture of a CD cover, but with this one it feels very futuristic with like the metal coverings and all that. It's like, wow.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. Like, I do love. Yeah, they don't. It's not like an actual album art. It looks like it's like a picture of a CD. Usually
a picture of an album.
of the actual like the CD. It's really fascinating to see that album art. So, yeah, this one was super good. But I guess we should finish it up. We should just wrap it up, and let's get to our final review of the week. And this is our second debut of this episode, and they just literally debuted on Monday the 6th, and this is the new K-pop band from JYP, Xdinary Heroes, spelled Xdinary, because that's easy to roll off the tongue, guys.
I know. It would have been better if it's if it's like Xdinary or extraordinary or something. They could have Extraordinary Heroes.
I thought it was going to be like Extraordinary Heroes, like something like that, but it's Xdinary Heroes. And I guess that's how it's going to roll off the tongue. So, but they came out with their debut single track, Happy Death Day, and what I mean by K-pop band is like they are playing instruments. This is a group much like in the vein of Day 6, and Flying, The Rose. I haven't talked much about The Rose, but The Rose is also a really good band. You should really check them out. I'm hoping they because they're finishing up military service. I'm hoping they come back with music soon once they finish up military. Um, but they play instruments. It's a 6-member group, and I believe it's 2 keyboardists, 2 guitarists, a bassist, and a drummer, and the drummer is the leader of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're a new group, new band under JYP, and I have to say this filled the hole in my heart that pop punk that I've missed in a while.
I know your taste though, Jenny. I know your
you know
taste.
my taste. You know me. Because this was like, yeah, like my Black Emo heart was like, hi, I like
Hello,
this.
back again.
It's like,
Yeah,
you're talking about this.
Yeah. I was kind of curious to what you're like, what your how you felt about this, but I'm kind of glad that you really liked this because it took a lot for me to like finally enjoy because I think I listened. I think it was my fault for listening to it early in the morning when I was like going to work.
It's a little aggressive when you're listening to it first thing in the morning, probably.
Maybe, yeah. No, but because when I first listened to it again, kind of like with I felt like weirded out with how like it's sung or like how the music is played. Because it's very like some of the stuff that feels very like out there, like, or not to say like jarring, but it's very something like so different. Like, oh, where did that come from? But I was trying to make like some kind of like comparison because their style of music, it feels very reminiscent of the 2000s alt rock garage bands. Like the first thing that came to my mind was like, this is like the White Stripes with something would play.
Yes, it's very, very, very White Stripes. The Vines,
the Hives,
yeah.
The blanks, but yeah, it's very like that aggressive, like it's like almost like a homemade, produced type of rock music.
Yeah, it's definitely in that rock vein. Pop punk. There is this like little bit of like features because on the album itself, it's the track itself, and there's an instrumental, and I listened to the instrumental version, and there's like this interesting like digital breakdown part of it too, a little bit like on the undercurrent of it, and it's very interesting because like if you watch the music video, like there's this interesting like digital aspect of it too, and I don't know if that's going to be part of their universe or like what the part of their concept or what, because I have to look more into their concept because I haven't seen much about it yet. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested to like dig into this group. Not that I need another group to dig into because God forbid.
I know you're like
I'm into any
you're
like
gonna be like
fandoms.
So with a lot of like group stories or like the fictional stories. So like
I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this right now. Although I do get a break for on and off for 18 months, but I don't need this. Because oh my God,
you could just be like me. You can just like enjoy the music by itself and not pay attention to the story.
No, I'm kidding. No, I mean it's because I really dig the sound because like it's even with like compared to other like K-pop bands like Day 6 or And Flying or The Rose or FT Island or any of the other bands like that. Like I haven't seen anyone play like more like in this like like punk edge to it, like really this aggressive punk edge. Before, and like because it's really in your face. Like I was not expecting how in your face it was going to be. Like
I'm kind of surprised that JYP like I think like I know JYP is like really wants their artists to be like a really bubbly type of like pop. Even with Day 6, like kind of feels like there's someone like their songs feels very like like colorful and so like bright and happy. So well, I'm with the with the Stray Kids, it's kind of like Day 6 plus Stray Kids equals what we like Xdinary Heroes. Like just as long as JYP doesn't like interfere with their music and just put his whispered JYP in there, I think they'll be all set. Like if they have like if they allow them to produce their own music and have them continue with the very hard edge punk type of aggressive style of music, then that I would totally appreciate, and I would totally support like their their ventures here because they're a very new group. So yeah, we kind of need more like the kind of like that sound and that more diversity into like with K-pop and like a lot of its sub genres. So yeah, I really hope you're able to do more of that.
Yeah, and like I want to see. I'm hoping because I mean, again, this is only their debut. I hope they do continue into this like more like pop punk edge, or this aspect of music. Because like I said, I haven't seen it in like a long time, and it's I guess I've missed it. Wow,
We all missed it.
we've all missed it. And it's just I really dug it because it had this like really awesome like teasing mocking thing to it too, like get to listen to the song itself, like how like just very like mocking, like in your kind of mocking in your face it is, because I mean it's a song called
Like
Happy
Stray
Death
Kids.
Day. Yeah, very much like Stray Kids. So I guess they're learning from their seniors from
Their older
Stray Kids
brothers.
here, their older brothers here from Stray Kids, which dear God, that's scary. To think about that right now, that's really scary. Oh dear God.
Bad role models. No,
Depends on who you look at in the group. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I really dug the sound. Like I said, it's a really fun sound, and I'm hoping to see more from them soon. And I hope a lot of success for these guys, because like it's a fun it'd be a fun genre to see K-pop explore, I think. To see them explore pop punk. So
or just rock in general, because with day six they were really good at diversifying their music. It's not like just one type of like music genre that they fall into. Like they explore like from 80s type of glam rock into like a more grungy type of rock, and even like a more like a retro like synth pop type of like music. They really explored all the ranges and all types of like rock pop music.
So I also hope too, because of Xdinary Heroes, I hope this doesn't mean the end of day 6, because I know there's been some talk about because with Jay, is it you've heard about Jay kind of talk about his feelings and stuff, which
his struggles, under like the AYP, which I
understand.
That's what I'm kind of feeling like. That's like the worst, or like that's what I'm kind of dreading for the worst, because JYP is known to toss out their older groups for like the new toys and all that. Like, it's kind of bad to say, like to label like these new artists, the new young artists, but that's what it's like the fault with JYPs. Like they don't prioritize like their previous
senior
groups, their senior groups anymore. So that's what I'm kind of like fearing about for day 6. Is like
me too. Which I don't want to see anything happen to day 6 now that young K's in the military, and I know there's been a lot of questions. Is Jay leaving the group? Is he not leaving the group? What's going on? I'm just happy that Jay's finally having his Twitch channel come back. Thank God. That makes me happy. Because I've missed his Twitch channel. But
his personality too. I love his personality.
His personality is hilarious. But just to get him in a better headspace, because I know he's gone through a lot. He's gone through a lot of mental stuff in 2020 and 2021. He's really kind of gotten to a low place. So for him to hopefully get to a better place, in his life, hopefully, because I mean he's kind of open. He's been talking very openly about his experience and opened a lot of people's eyes into like the anxieties and struggles of being an idol. And it's a hard life. So but there's just a lot of the stuff that he had to give up and stuff. So I know so that's why it's just a kind of a mystery of like what's going to happen with day 6 right now. So I'm hoping this doesn't mean the end of day 6.
But if they do want to leave JYP, hopefully they leave together and all that. So they pull a
GOT7.
I really hope like they still are on good terms with it, just the members of themselves, and just like they have to venture out on their own, but also like hopefully they can still work together.
Exactly. Yeah. All I know is that apparently JYP cannot touch Stray Kids for whatever reason. So Stray Kids is safe from what it sounds like. So because JYP wouldn't even touch their music, because that's why we don't get the interesting JYP whisper on any of their tracks, thank God, or any of his credits on their tracks, because it's all 3 Raja, thank God, and all their and the producers that work with them. So thank goodness. But some of the inner workings of JYP there. But yeah, that's it for our reviews this week. Wow, we got through all of them, and we're getting to the end of the year. We only got a couple more albums to deal with here because we got
to
review because we got ATEEZ's album coming out the end of this week. As we're recording this week, which, oh my god, based on the track list, I'm excited. I'm excited. ATEEZ pulling a Taylor Swift here on Mnet. As Atini has kindly pointed out. We'll get into that next week with her episode. Stay tuned on that, as well as NCT with their 2021 project, the universe here. So that'll be very interesting to see how that all goes.
Yeah, I'm also looking at their trailers too, because they put their track videos for for their album.
Yes,
so very interesting. Like hearing the subgroups of the song, and now the teaser with for the NCT Universe subgroup. So which they will be performing on Mama, that subunit, that subgroup. So
that's
interesting.
They'll debut it on Mama and not on Monday when the album actually comes out. So kind of a sneak peek for End Citizens there. So that's, I guess, that probably will be a big draw probably to Mama, at least for End Citizens, to watch the awards, because we'll get to see the debut of that. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell ATEEZ is going to do, because they literally know the stage, because I'm like, okay, I knew we're gonna get Deja Vu, probably gonna get Deja Vu performance, but then how the hell are we doing Turbulence and the Real? Because I don't know how I'm gonna do Emotional Whiplash like that. Because
they'll find a way. They will find a way. Trust them.
Because for those of you who aren't in the know right now, ATEEZ did already drop a pre-release music video and a single already for their next album for the epilogue here for the Fever series, called Turbulence, which is why we're not reviewing the album this week, because I want to wait till the whole album comes out. And holy crap, I'll get into next week, but yeah, I'm gonna get emotional whiplash from this. I'm gonna get emotional whiplash from this group, I swear to God. Between Turbulence and the Real, my God. Yeah. And like I said, we were gonna possibly get to review Kepler, but now they're debuted to who knows when. So
I know, it's a shame though.
So we'll see whenever Kepler debuts, we will eventually review them. So, because who knows, they may get pushed to 2022 at this rate with COVID, and maybe, with the holidays. Because I don't think they would probably want to worry about that with the holidays. I would think. I don't know. Because I'm assuming all the music shows and stuff would get pushed. I don't know. Do they cancel the music shows for the holidays? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember too. They're probably just gonna have some kind of hiatus or vacation with
something like that. So, or they usually start doing best ofs and stuff too. So, I know I have to watch Immortal Songs on Christmas Day for the King of Canes, because that's an ATEEZ is on. So, yay! Because they're competing in that again this year. But yeah. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, but yeah, we also have upcoming as our top 10s of the year. We'll probably have our special guest on at that time too. Our social friend of the show, Chris, will probably be on joining us this year, and I'm interested to see what his top 10 looks like compared to ours, because he's got a very unique taste compared to ours, I feel like.
At least we bring a lot of diversity, and bring more artists that we haven't talked or haven't listened to yet. So we really appreciate his input and top 10s. And,
some good discussion. So we'll probably do our final episode before we're done for the year. Is probably be our top 10. So but with that, do you have anything you want to plug, Jenny?
So you can find me on Facebook at Ginny Leano. So that's GINNYLEANO. Or you can check out my design pages on Facebook at Ginny Leano Designs, Instagram at Ginny Designs, and you can find the rest of my personal stuff and different links from my other pages. And back to you, Jenny.
And you can find me, Jenny. You can find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Jenny Matasek. That's Jenny with an I, MATASEK. You can find me over on Instagram and on Twitter at Chaos Bulldog. And you can also find the Instagram, I'll find the Noonas show pages over on Instagram and Twitter at Noonas_podcast. Don't forget that underscore. You can also check out the Spotify playlist of our show. If you just click the bios of those links, just check them out. We have a bunch of back playlists, some Wikipedias, some other playlists. We have to do some Wikipedias coming up soon, I feel like, too. I need to start talking to you about that because we got a bunch of groups I think we should do Wikipedias for. Maybe when we get to the slow season.
Plus there's not much going on.
Yeah, because we're
January
going to
season.
Yeah, January tends to be slow, so we might have a lot of Wikipedias coming your way here, guys. We also have our show also now on Facebook and on YouTube. Just go look on Facebook, facebook.com/Noonas podcast for the video form of our show. So you can see all the wonderful pictures Jenny comes up with our show every week /memes. Because she does brings out the memes too. You can also check out our video form over on YouTube too. Just search for the Noonas podcast over on YouTube. And you can also check out the audio form of our show over on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Noonas podcast, all one word. And that's about it. That's it for this episode of the Noonas podcast. This is going to be a long episode this week.
Your boyfriend's going to be so happy.
Yes, he is. So we'll make up. Well, what's going to make up for next week unless we go really, really long talking about Mmas, which we could. We could. Depending on those performances. Depends if it even survive ATs and Stray Kids. And in Hyphen.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that right now. Yeah. We'll see if I even survive Saturday.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we should sign off this week with a resounding
Fighting.